Storm debris still okay to drop off at the dump? A report on Sandy Neck Beach damage, changes for a Main Street mainstay, and the senator to hold office hours right here at Town Hall. These stories and more on this edition of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, February 21st, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. Barnstable residents continue to clean up the damage done by the recent winter storm. The town of Barnstable's transfer station is accepting storm debris associated with Blizzard Nemo. Debris drop-off is restricted to residential customers only. No commercial vehicles will be allowed to dispose of debris. You may drop off brush and logs. Logs must be in lengths of 4 feet or less. Debris will be accepted at the transfer station through February 24th. Speaking of storm damage and cleanup, lots of work lies ahead for the folks at Sandy Neck Beach Park. Manager Nina Coleman told the Sandy Neck board last night that Winter Storm Nemo was the worst she's seen in her decade managing the beach. While it wasn't catastrophic, work to repair stairways and trails is in the future. Coleman reported on the damage before the board Wednesday night.
You can see that we really were hammered out of the north. That's the north-facing part of the bathhouse. Unfortunately, our brand new flagpole snapped, so might have to rethink if that's a good location for a flagpole. This is our handicap ramp. You can get an idea of the erosion. This is the location from the parking lot. Since we do have man-made structures, that we are able to kind of get a grasp of how many feet, linear feet of dune that we lost. It's harder when you get further down the beach because there's nowhere to sort of make an estimate from. But I would say around our parking lot area, we lost 15 to 20 feet of dune. And this is the handicap ramp. We lost the bottom 2 sections of the ramp. This is looking, this is with your back to the handicap ramp looking east, and you can see that structure right there. That's the top of the stairs. That's all that's left of the first set of stairs. And you can see what we're looking at for dune erosion. That slope is obviously very abrupt. We did lose quite a bit of dune, fortunately, as I mentioned. We didn't lose any parking lot, which is always what we're always hoping is the worst case scenario. So it could have been worse, is what I'm saying. We could have lost lot. Instead, we lost stairs and handicap ramp. This is an interesting picture. Do not be alarmed. This is not our parking lot from this particular storm. What you're looking at is our parking lot that was lost for, I believe, blizzard in 1978. We lost a whole row of parking, which was discussed at length during the permitting phase of our new bathhouse. We were looking to increase our parking lot space, and there was a lot of discussion about how we lost that front row of parking during the blizzard of 78. And there she is. We went back as far as that in time here with our latest storm, and you can see that parking lot with the lines and the bumpers and so forth. So when folks go down there, do not worry, that isn't our existing parking. We did not lose any parking spaces during this storm, but I did document that we did in fact lose that asphalt in the past. This is what appears to be Trail 1. Again, the trails are kind of where you can get an idea of how much dune we lost. Trails by nature, since they're crossing into the dune, create a very weak location. It's going to be where you're going to have storm surge get up in there, and likewise in this area, the storm really hit quite hard in the Trail 1 area, and there was debris all the way back and down into the dunes, and it also blew the area. It's usually narrower, as I can see people can tell. Trail 1 is usually much narrower, and now it's a big wide opening. This is Trail 2. Again, hard to see how much dune we lost in this location, but we did lose the Trail 2 sign, and that was considerably far back and on the top of the dune. Again, we're looking at like a sharp face, and it's impossible to get up into that trail at this time. And finally, we're jumping around a little bit, but this is the stairs, our second set of stairs, our most easterly set of stairs. And the bottom part is concrete, so that remained, but everything in between is missing. And that would appear to be Trail 4. Yeah, you can see the That's Trail 4, same problem. So the hardest hit areas were kind of from the parking lot out to a little bit east of 4, and then the erosion wasn't as bad, and out in Little Neck actually fared pretty well.
Coleman says she's working to coordinate repairs.
At this point, I have requested the emergency waiver of permits through the Conservation Department. I have a verbal go-ahead with the stairs and the handicap ramp, and I'm in the process of getting Structures and Grounds or other entities to get going on those. I do think that's a safety issue. As you can see, we have caution tape up, but there's no way to get onto the beach without going over the edge there. The handicap ramp is the best way down. It's about a 4-foot drop, but still I am concerned about safety, and we do have the caution tape up in those locations. And then the trail repair, we were able to repair Trail 6 by hand. Trail 5 is passable. So we were able to make sure that our cottage owners could get out to their cottages, although it is pretty up and down and a little challenging. And I like to make sure that cottage owners are taking the right type of vehicle out there. It has to be pretty beefy and pretty high up off the ground in order to get through those dunes. And Trail 1, as you saw, is passable. So essentially access is possible to all the cottages. That Trail 4 and Trail 2 is what we're looking at, trying to figure out how to repair and as quickly as possible.
While the Sandy Neck Board did meet on Wednesday, it was an unofficial meeting. No vote was taken as the board did not have a quorum. Regulation change discussion will be held at the board's March meeting. Well, new rules might be in the future for marina moorings here in town this Friday. That's tomorrow. A public hearing on those proposed changes is planned. The hearing will take place on Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning in the second floor hearing room here at Town Hall. Meanwhile, a public hearing on the town of Barnstable's Community Development Block Grant Program one-year action plan will be held in March. Residents are invited to attend and share comments and views on the priorities for the 2013 Community Development Block Grant Program. That hearing takes place Wednesday, March 6th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the Selectmen's Conference Room at Town Hall. Well, work is underway improving the classic facade of Main Street establishment Puritan Clothing. Last night, representatives from Puritan appeared before the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission, proposing plans for new signage, removing the classic metal letters.
The new signage down below, as you can see, they're going to restore it back to the original look of all brick, which is really a wonderful thing. The new signage is significantly smaller. It's going to be located over the new main entrance. The letters are going to be made out of aluminum, and they're painted black. They stand off from the building a couple of inches, and they have lighting on the inside, white LED lettering, so that the effect will be a halo effect behind the black letters at nighttime.
Right. Okay.
And if you're not familiar with what that looks like, there's other examples. The Prova Brazil across the street has the same type of lettering. You might have seen that. Fazio's has it as well. Right.
Further sign changes were discussed.
The projecting sign that's going to be at the far right end by this entrance to Puritan Clothing.
There's another entrance to the store itself.
Right. And I think you probably all have copies of that too. The sign is fairly small. It's only 9 inches high by 44 inches wide. This sign is going to be made out of sign foam again, and the background will be sandblasted away and the letters will be flat. The sandblasted away portion will be painted black. And
so that's the bas relief I was asking about earlier, right?
That's right. And the lettering and the border will be in gold leaf.
Okay.
And that's going to be suspended from a bracket that looks like this. This bracket's kind of unique in that it has the lighting fixture built right into it, so there's no conduits or wiring visible from the outside. That's all inside the bracket.
The HHDC approved those signage changes as well as proposed lanterns for the building facade. And finally, Cape and Island State Senator Dan Wolf will be holding district office hours right here at Barnstable Town Hall. In fact, the senator will be in the Selectmen's Conference Room tomorrow. That's Friday, February 22nd from 2 to 3:30 in the afternoon. An appointment isn't required, but it is recommended. If you'd like to do so, call Brian Dunn at the State House, 617-722-1570. Otherwise, residents may drop by to talk with Senator Wolf about important issues. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.